Hey, this is Hanspam. Welcome once again to my channel, and this time we will be having a video tutorial on how to use an Ableton Live, and we will going to connect to our Akai Mini Play. All right. Of course, you need to have any kind of a MIDI controller, but in my video, I'm using MPK Mini Play, and of course, one requirement, of course, you have to download the Ableton Live, and we can also try it for free, right? So once that you have it with you, and you have you can you have purchase after using it for 12 I mean for probably for a month or so, hopefully though, but definitely they will surely give you a full usability of the Ableton Live, and later on you can purchase. The moment you have already purchased it though, you can register your product, of course, right? So this time I'll be using the same thing. So let me open up my Ableton Live. Right. So I have an Ableton Live 11 suite, and okay, this time I'm opening now the app. You will see that it will also require you, it will warning you if you need to register, of course, using a push. If you have purchased a push to a device itself, I believe you have just like you already been purchased, you'll be having a free usage of Ableton Live. So in my case, of course, I am having MPK Mini Play. Only the DAW that comes along with this device is the MPC Beats. Right? You can also check it out also on my previous video on connecting MPK Mini Play using MPC Beats. All right. So this time I'm now in to my Ableton Live. So you hear that sound, right? There you go. So Ableton Live 11 Suite is giving me a welcome, but of course I haven't even authorized this yet. Of course I haven't purchased it yet, but at least we have a chance to use this one in full for us, pretty much like a trial, right? So either the way you could do it later on, or no internet on this computer for the meantime, we'll just click and authorize it later, right? So one sec, let me check my video over here so that we could see later clearly some of the configuration over here. So right, once that you are in your Ableton Live, of course, first things first, your MIDI controller should be plugged into your USB that come along with your device. And once that you already plug in, you have to go to the option, and from the preferences you will see this configuration. So particularly if we are not seeing your device, it has to be set it up here. But for the meantime, this one, if MPK Mini Mark III, it's not showing here, all you have to do is to select this one. Later we will going to configure this one as your control surface as well. Your input MPK play Mark III, and of course would be also in the output. So I'll just get all the settings, because later on we will going to sync this one as well, this MIDI controller. So we have to set it also the MIDI ports over here. From the in should be if you want to control the tracks, and the remote should be enabled, and then the sync should be also be turned on. And say later, once that we are now synchronizing your time measure, we have to take this output MPK Mini Mark III output as well, right? So that we could sync your beats time measurement along with your software, right? So later we'll be coming back here, because on the rap record exclusively we have to have this arm and solo as well, so that we could do simultaneous play. All right, so we'll come back to this one if we need to do some settings for the preferences. Right. So all you things that you're seeing in the interface, we have this IDE, and I think if I will be pressing, right, it looks like, yeah, you hear some sounds there, but you don't hear my pads, right? So that's the reason why we need also to do that configuration on your MIDI preferences. So let's go with this collections of our drums. Say we will use this first panel here, we can drop and the file or any device over here as well, and later some plugins or maybe some different categories of your MIDI effects, audio effects will gonna be here at the bottom, and later on maybe some setting up your or mapping your controls using the MIDI, right? And later on we will try to work with the simultaneous track on this one. Yeah, for example, let me select the drums category here. So I'll be using like 808 core kit. Oh, this is quite common. You can hear it straight away from this version, and you can click drag over here in the MIDI, right? Once that it's there, right there, you can try it your pads, but it still doesn't work though, right? So meaning we haven't set up your MIDI setting over here at the bottom of this region. So it comes along with the all instruments. So we will going to select now your particular device, which is your MPK Mini. So which is fascinating. We can create different external devices from this different vertical region there, right? So though we will just be using a single device external, which is the MPK Mini Play Mark III, and later on we will set each one different instruments or sequence or anything else. Right, so this time how you will know if you're running on that particular channel. Say for example, if I go to all channel, you press your pads, you can see that channel 10 is enabling, right? So meaning it has to be selected because this is technically it's map over here, this channel. So that's the reason why that we can see why some instrument is not coming out from your DAW, right? So let's select on that channel and you will see, right, if nothing is happening. So I believe the Ableton Live, it has to be engaged here for a while, right? That's why we have this engaged, and now you can hear the sound of the drum. So good thing with this one, the pad with the A and /B, right? Also notice that it's also you're hearing a different sound of the pads, right? Because we have only 8 here, pretty much 16 with pressing the pads here. You can see, right. So engaging that one is pretty straightforward. And of course, at the moment your keyboard is not working, basically you can see here the MIDI form. We can set this one as well, even though we are not yet selecting your category here for your keys. So just for the same thing that what we did on the first column, we will going to select our MPK Mini Play Mark III, and the channel, when you're pressing the keyboard, you are now seeing that the channel 1 is lighting up. So we select the channel 1. So meaning to say, we are on the channel 10 on your pads, okay, channel 1 on your keys. But for now, we don't have yet an instrument. So let's bring along one instrument, like say for example, maybe let's see, analog, okay, maybe some strings. So let's listen first. Oh, this one is nice. All right, okay, let's try this sync badass lead. Okay, so maybe we will just make it simple, right? Let's just go on a very simple string sound. Maybe I'm going to select this synthesizer or this one, right? Let's click drag this one and the second column, and if I press it, for now it's not working at the moment, right? So technically by default you could not enable or you cannot engage simultaneous tracks for this. Since I have already enabled it, in the preferences, you can see that from the record warp launch, the arm and solo should be also be exclusive. So if I turn on this one, engage, so you can now see, right, the sound of our keys is now appearing, right. Now you can see also the drums. Right, so beautiful indeed, right. So which means now we are having two tracks at the moment. So one runs on a pads or drums, and we have also that particular instrument string off-world is set up here in our second column, right. So next thing that we will going to do is, say for example you want to enable your effects over here, right. So for now, if I'm turning over here, you can see that right, the knobs is moving on my bright, right, my filter resonance, my motion. Oh, it's not okay. This one, the reverb, we don't have that one. Knob B, right. So it's literally, it's not set properly, it seems, right. So we will do that one a later on, after we will going to try to add some like an audio effects, right. Say for example, let's bring on one effects here. Let's say we have a EQ and filters over here, and let's go to let's try to see this beat mosaic, and let's click and drag it over here in our effects area. Right, there you go. Let's see if it really works. No, if I work on my string, and then let's try to get this bright filter, right. Alright, you're seeing that it moves though, yeah, particular, right, there you go, right. Of course, this is just for our instruments, right, particularly on this string, right. So we can still add on some mini filters over here. Say for example, let's try to add like a badass filter over here. Let's click and drag it over there, right. You can hear the sound is literally, it's adding some modulation now, right. If I move this setting, all right, you can easily hear the amount of shape, right. But of course you have to select it. If you are going to select this beat mosaic, right, well, there you go. Right, now let's try to map how to map this knob of your controller MIDI on your Ableton Live. You can see it from the far right over here. We have a MIDI here. If you turn on this or click that one, you can see that like shaded blue on your interface. So meaning we can literally map this one basically. Say for example, we want just to map the world strings right over here, so we could literally map. You can select this knob, right, this bright, and you can turn on your knob over here. You can see it's 1/5. It's changing over there. The filter resonance, I will click this one, and okay, I think we need the reverb somewhere here. Yeah, there you go. I think the motion is not part there. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm on the knob B. Let me back to this one. Right, this one is 1/1, right, 1/2, right, and this one is for this, right. AB, I'll be on the bottom, right there, 1/5. It's mapping now, literally, right. It's mapping, Right there, the volume. So let's try if I turn off this MIDI, and you can hear the sound there. Yeah, the attack is really changing now. Right, reverb, volume is together. Right, click this one, the bright. Right, filter resonance. Right, and there you go. So you can still map this your control or your uh, from your MIDI controller, these knobs even here within every single column of your tracks, right? So which means it's easy. Also we can map the send, and we can have here mapping on send. Say for example, I'll go to this spot and now we'll go into MIDI, right? Oops. Right, and you see the send here. I will select the send, and I will going to set as my filter. Right, see, and this send will be here, number 2. Right, yeah, you can see that both bright and the send is basically coming out from our Ableton Live. Right, so we're done with setting up our modulation, adding some audio effects. This time, how to sync your MIDI controller within your Ableton Live when it comes to the beats, or like we have here 1/4, 1/4 triplets here, 1/8, 1/16. If I turn on the note repeat, um, it okay. It basically doesn't work. Basically, see, I'm trying to show it to you now. The note repeat, right? And similarly, also if in most cases, if I turn on the arpeggiator, yeah, it seems it doesn't work both. Well, the prerequisite for this one, of course, if we go back to our preferences, I have already set it up, that one, and shown it to you, that our control surface should be selected first here. The Mark Mini, MPK Mini Mark 3 should be part of the control surface. Your input should be the same, and output will be the same, and the most important is the output will going to be in tick on the track, sync, and remote. Right, once that you have that one, let's try to set it up. First things first, on your MIDI controller, you can now select the sync here. Right, there are many ways how to do that one, say some of which are setting up on the favorite and one for Ableton Live. It's coming out there now. Yeah, and see, you can see that when you click the favorite and bank one, meaning you're now connected to your Ableton Live, but my tempo is not yet pretty much synced. Actually, it's still separately on the arpeggiator, or which means the external tempo still working. It's literally not synced to your DAW. You can see there I have a 4/4 there, and then of course you can see that it's still not enabled. Right, if we will do that one, first things first, we have to turn on the sync. It should be external. You can see it from your LED OLED display there. Let's say I will press the arpeggiator on off, long press, and press the sync here. You will see EXT. So which means when you see that setting EXT, which means now it's an external, it will be literally sync the tempo based on the Ableton Live. Let's try it. If you want to enable that one, say for example, I will turn on a space bar from the keyboard, and I will turn on this right, this what do you call this one? It's like your rhythm, right? We'll make it like 1/8, and let's see a note repeat if it's sync. Yeah, right? So it looks like it doesn't work yet at the moment. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so let's do it once again. External. Okay, this one is right. Right, shift 1. Right, so let's see now. Yeah, now they're both already sync, right? Right. Okay, let's try to change the tempo. Say for example, let's go on a 1/4. Yeah, imagine we are supposed to be working with external, right? And right, so there you go. This is how we sync our tempo, and basically, of course, we are enabling this in our Ableton Live, so that every time that we are going to record every different tracks, and you want to sync it straight from your arpeggiator on your MIDI controller, or probably syncing also with your audio effects or some samples, it will going to be in a smoother tempo as well, right? So there you go. So this is how we set up and use Ableton Live using our MPK mini play. And probably for my next video, I'll going to make a tutorial on how to start with our beat, right? So how we could facilitate all these controls, all of the functionality of Ableton Live, right? So without further ado, we'll see you once again next video, and God bless you all. Bye bye for now.